Welcome again, everyone. My name is Brian Balicki, your host of the podcast, The Juice is Worth the Squeeze. Embrace it. It's my life story of 57 years as a type 1 diabetic and still counting. In today's podcast, and for several I've planned following today, I'll discuss a few priorities and lessons I've learned for successfully managing type 1 across nearly 7 decades. What do I mean when I say successful? Well, if you've listened to my prior podcasts, you've heard me state a couple of points about this. Since my original comatose hospitalization in 1968, I've never been hospitalized for any complications related to diabetes. None. Emergency room visits for brief episodes of unstable blood sugars? Well, I had one, and 2 other close calls. But I do remember the one visit vividly for hypoglycemia. It happened when I was balancing the challenges of a busy business travel schedule, a professional healthcare career, playing hockey as a 38-year-old adult in my spare time, and trying as best as I could to be a good dad to 2 young daughters. Kudos to my wife at the time, who was the rock who made it possible for me and the family to embrace, enjoy, and survive those wonderful years. Am I lucky? For sure, no argument here. I've been lucky to have been born the year I was to the parents, the family, friends, professional colleagues that have surrounded me throughout this time. Certainly, I can't put into words how lucky I've been to have had the healthcare team that has guided and treated me over the last 20 years, who've enabled me to remain healthy enough to avoid virtually all of the complications that could interfere with the full, active, and memorable adult life. It continues to this day. Knocking on wood here, but to this day, I can report no complications to my eyesight, kidneys, lower extremities, or my hands and heart. And I still even have all of my original body parts that I was born with 72 plus years ago. I've taken none of these things for granted. I've had a rewarding professional career, some opportunities to perform at world-class performing arts centers in Washington, D.C. and around the world, through some fairly serious personal recreational gigs, and of course, some amazing personal travel that continues to this day. Oh, and like many seniors, I'm still working on my bucket list. So why do I think I have some lessons to share? What roles have I played in living as long as I have without the common diabetic complications? And what are my nuggets of wisdom? I'm going to start by quickly revisiting some facts that I believe help to explain how my life story and my health is not just different, but noteworthy from other type 1 and type 2 diabetics, and even by comparison with other living seniors my age who don't have diabetes. Then I'll tick off a quick summary of some personal lifetime lessons and priorities. This will give you a good dose of what I plan to discuss in much greater detail in upcoming podcasts over the coming months about how to manage type 1. Being a nuts and bolts guy with 57 years of experience at this, I feel like it's important to share details with my diabetic brothers and sisters about how to manage type 1, not just the concepts. My ideas for sure, but listen to them, talk about them with your own healthcare team, try them if you can, and then let me know what you think. So why do I think my personal lessons for managing type 1 are worth listening to? What role have I played in being alive now and living as long as I have without common diabetic complications? So here we go. Back in 1968, the average life expectancy of a U.S. male like me, age 15, was 81 years old. In that same year, if you were diagnosed with type 1, the number of lifetime years you could expect to lose because of being type 1 was 35. Pretty stark, right? So it was the life expectancy of a 15-year-old diabetic, type 1 in 1968, 46 years. How did I get to that? Well, take the 81 years minus 35 leaves you with 46. That's it. Today I'm 72 years old, or I've spent 26 years past my 46th year. I've been able to live 26 years past my 46th birthday because of several major advances in the treatment, management, and knowledge about type 1 for sure. In fact, according to the Joslin Center for Diabetes Research in Boston, These advances have reduced the number of years of lifetime loss due to type 1 during 1968 to 2025 by about 12 to 13 years, a remarkable achievement for sure. So if I've been lucky enough to live 26 years past my 46th birthday, and 12 of those 13 years can be rightfully explained by the above advances in type 1 science, what explains the additional 13 to 14 years that have allowed me to reach the age of 72? Well, I most humbly and graciously suggest my own behaviors and daily decisions in managing myself and support from those around me account for much of this 13 to 14 year quote-unquote grace period I've enjoyed. I use the term quote grace period here literally and not so religiously. So what are the underlying threads of this 13 to 14 year period? I'm going to preview my lifelong lessons for managing type 1 diabetes for 57 plus years now. I'll be discussing these lessons in much greater detail in my upcoming podcast series. Collectively, they've helped me to enjoy a healthy and active lifestyle at age 72. I've boiled them down into 6 groups. Don't worry, I won't be giving a pop quiz at the end. I'm all about making this journey manageable and hopefully entertaining. Before I summarize them here, I'm going to make a couple of points for some context, though. First, my priorities are meant to be a group of actions. What does that mean? I believe you should try them all. Picking and choosing may work for a buffet, but diabetes doesn't quite work that way. It's like making a cake. Leaving out the eggs and things will get messy fast. Second, you don't need to be perfect if and when you adopt these. You just need to be good. Let me repeat this. Perfection is overrated. In fact, striving for perfection with blood sugar control is like trying to teach a cat to fetch. Frustrating and not always worth the stress. If you aim for consistency instead of perfection, you'll be in much better shape and I'm sure much saner as well. My own experience proves that good control, not perfect control, is the secret sauce to a long, happy life with type 1. Third, talk about these actions with your doctor and healthcare team first, before adopting them. While I've managed my diabetes for 57 years, I'm not a doctor, though at this point, I'm definitely earned an honorary degree in diabetes survival. My own doctors have told me on occasion, and I quote, "You're too healthy. Get out of here." So here are the groups of priorities I will discuss in my upcoming podcast. First, personal care. Managing type 1 diabetes requires a whole body perspective, every day and all day long. Ignoring it is like trying to drive cross-country without checking your tires, radiator, battery, windshield wipers, gas gauge, and listening for those occasional grunts and groans your car makes during a journey. Sooner or later, you're going to be stranded on the side of the road. I've got some tips to help make sure you don't end up calling for roadside assistance. Next, medicine, technology, and knowledge. Back in 1968, diabetes tech was about as advanced as a rotary phone. Today, we've got CGMs, insulin pumps, and apps that practically think for us. Though I'm still waiting for that one that tells me where I left my glasses last night. My advice? Embrace the tech. It's like having a personal assistant for your diabetes, and unlike your dog, it won't ignore you when it's nap time. Next is nutrition. We all know good nutrition is key, but let's be honest. Sometimes a slice of cake just calls your name. The key is balance. I'll share how to eat smart while still enjoying life. Spoiler, it involves knowing exactly how much insulin to take for that surprise donut at the office. Next is physical activity. Exercise is great, but for diabetics, it's also a bit of a magic trick. 1 minute you're fine, the next you're rummaging through your pockets for an emergency energy bar or a juice pocket. I'll share my best tips for staying active without turning into a sweaty, shaky mess. Next is self-learning, or what I call personal knowledge and development. Diabetics have the most advanced built-in alert system, I believe, our own bodies. The trick is learning to listen to them. It's like being a detective, but instead of solving crimes, you're figuring out why your blood sugar just took a nosedive after that healthy smoothie, or how you can outsmart your body. Yes, outsmart it by skillfully downing a juice pocket during one of your daily workouts and avoiding a carb crash altogether. Finally, type 1 metrics. Keeping track of your health stats is essential. Think of it like checking your credit score, but instead of a mortgage, you're investing in a long, healthy life. And just like your credit score, one bad number isn't the end of the world, just to make a habit of it. So these will be the key priorities I'll delve into in my upcoming podcasts. Lastly, if you have any comments, questions, or other feedback you'd like to share about what you've heard in this podcast, please visit my podcast survey at fanlist.com/thejuice. Let me repeat that, fanlist.com/thejuice. Thank you for your time and attention. Until next time, remember, you don't need to be perfect in managing type 1, just be good. Signing off for now, cheerfully, Brian Balicki. Best of luck with your journey. Keep believing.